The poem The Ant Explorer is written by C.J. Dennis. In this poem, the ant explorer, there is a little tiny ant who is going on an exploration out of his home, and he wanted to see the nature around, so he went out of the home. But he was so little, so tiny, that even a small thing in the nature was becoming a hurdle for him. So here an ant is the main character who wanted to explore the world around him, the little sugar ant. This is a species of an ant which is generally found in the African regions. So this is called sugar ant. The sugar ant wanted to roam far away from home, but he found his travel to be lonely and difficult. So he turned around and went back. Then dreary and weary ant. Dreary because he has faced so many troubles, so many obstacles in his journey, that he became totally tired, and then he resolved not to roam away, not to go away from home anymore. So the poet actually reveals the truth here, that all journeys, no matter the journey is long or no matter the journey is quite short, they have their own challenges. The poem is humorous. It is really very funny poem in its mood. When you will read this poem, you will find it is something funny, but actually it is giving a message that every small or long journey has their own obstacles, problems. Poet has used repetitions of line to show the path the ant took and to and from his journey, which is also showing, emphasizing the way that the ant has taken. So let us read this poem once. Once a little sugar ant made up his mind to roam, to fare far away from home. He had eaten all his breakfast, and he had his ma's consent to see what he should chance to see, and here's the way he went. So once a little sugar ant, he decided to go out of his house and to see the nature around him. So far and far away, she wanted to go away and to see all the nature's scene. See here, you can mark up this line, and he had his ma's consent. This line tells us that this little tiny ant was very obedient to his mother,
Ma'am, which
and
one? And he had.
yes, and he had his ma's consent. So this line is telling that this tiny ant was very obedient to his mother, because before going out of his house, first of all he has taken his mother's consent to go out to see what he should chance to see. And here is the way he went: up and down a fern frond, round and round a stone, down a gloomy gully where he loathed to be alone. So up and down a fern frond, even as fern means a flowerless plant, green plant which does not generally bear any flower. It is only the leafy plant. So up and down a fern frond, round and round and round a stone. So what does this little ant see? It could see many of the ferns, many of the leafy trees, many small round and round stones in the way down a gloomy gully. So he can also see gloomy means which is not very happy, which is little bit saddy. It was saddy because he was all alone in his journey. There was no one in his company for this journey, so he was feeling very lonely. Up a mighty mountain range, 7 inches high, through the fearful forest grass that nearly hid the sky. Now, in these lines, you will find the things which it tells us that the ant was really very tiny, because only 7 inches. You can imagine how high will be the 7 inch. Even the 7 inches high land was just looking like the mighty round mountain range for him. Through the fearful forest grass, and small forest grass was so fearful for him that it was hiding all the sky. So actually the ant was very tiny, was very tiny. So that is why all these small things were looking like the giant one for him. Out along a breaking bridge, bending in the moss, till he reached a dreadful desert that was feet and feet across. Breckenbridge means these small leaves, long blades of the grass was making a bridge to the moss. Moss is called these uh, fungus that is generally grown in the water. So till he reached a dreadful desert, that was feet and feet across. Till the time this tiny ant has reached to the dreadful desert, a desert which was full of loneliness, and it was a dry desert and trackless land to tread. He wished that he was home again and tucked up tight in bed. Now, with this lonely and tired and unhappy and saddy expedition, the little ant was fed up, and now he wants to go back again to the home and lie in the bed comfortably. His little legs were wobbly, his strength was nearly spent, and so he turned around again, and here is the way he went. Now this little ant was very tired. He was so tired that his legs were wobbly. Wobbly means unsteady, and his strength, all his strength was totally exhausted, and so he decided to go back to his home again. So this way he has taken the same way he has taken already to come to the exploration. So what was that way? Back away from desert lands, feet and feet across, back along a bracken bridge, bending in the moss, through the fearful forest grass, shutting out the sky, up a mighty mountain range 7 inches high, down a gloomy gully where he loved to be alone, up and down a fern front, round and round just stone. A weary aunt resolved no more to roam. He staggered up the garden path and popped back home. So now the ant was so tired that he decided to go back home, and that is why he had taken the back route to the home, and he say now again he had to face the same things that he had came across before. But at last finally he reached to home, and he was staggered up the garden path and popped back in home. And as soon as he reached to the home, he popped, means he jumped into his room and lie comfortably there.